Oh my gosh, we're so back. I this episode came out later than intended. This was supposed to come out in February. As you can see, it's not February anymore, guys. But the video may have came out late, but my AP portfolio work did come in early. I finished early, and I'm about to finish this next piece that's due at the end of March early. It's gonna be finished literally by tomorrow, hopefully. Tomorrow of me recording this, I don't know when this is gonna be posted, but like it's March 4th right now. The piece that I'm working on for this month is gonna be done on March 5th. Fingers crossed. But hi, welcome back to another episode of Vibe-rant Connections! I'm much more hyped today because I'm finally motivated again for all the things, for content creating, for art making, all of the things. I know last episode I talked about how I was kind of like slacking a bit because I was missing a piece because it wasn't done yet that I was supposed to put in for that video, but it never happened. So instead of making a video for it, I made a reel about it, and that was like a cute 30-second, 45-second thing. Uh, and the artist that the piece was inspired by, she saw the reel and she liked it and she left a comment, guys. I think I'm winning. I think I'm winning. So yeah, since that point in time, that was my fourth piece. That red piece that I like took so long to finish was the fourth piece of my portfolio. Um, I'm now at the point in time where I'm on my seventh piece, and there's technically supposed to be eight pieces in my portfolio. So guys, I'm almost done. Like Vibrant Connections is almost complete in full, which means this series is close to being done. So it's almost the end of an era. I tracked this whole journey on YouTube, surprisingly. And now it's almost over. I don't know if this is going to be the second to last episode, or there's going to be two more after this. Either one more episode after this, or two more. I haven't decided yet. Just know that this is ending soon. So if you haven't watched the other episodes before this, do that. Catch up on Vibrant Connections so you can know. So you can get it. So you can be there. Now let's finally get into the art. I have two new pieces to show you guys, and one piece is in progress. And I would show you that one too, but I made it a surprise for the friend that I'm drawing the piece for, so I can't show that yet until I'm completely finished, so you will have to wait. But I have two more for you, so it's gonna be okay. First things first. So, making this next piece, my fifth piece, I think it is, number five? Yeah, number five. I wanted to try a new color, so I had to like go deep back through the other pieces and figure out which colors I already did. So we all know for the first piece I did yellow. For the second one I did blue and green, but it was more blue heavy, so I was like, okay, I had already done blue. For my third piece I dipped into the rainbow colors with like the lighting and everything. And my fourth one was red, so I was like, what piece should I do next? So I was like, purple's a pretty color. Let's do that. So I decided to take purple. When I think purple, I think space. So I was like, let's make aliens. So now that I already had that idea locked in my brain, the hard part was going to be, well, not hard part, but the part that I really have to think about is which friend am I going to add to this piece? Who's going to be the alien? Who am I going to draw with me to show a connection? So I actually have a set list of friends that I wanted to draw. I had this list prior. So I scour through that cutesy little list and I find two perfect candidates. They are dancers at my school. They're my school's dancing program and they are amazing dancers. And I thought they fit the vibe perfectly for this alien species that I happen to conjure up. And their names are Zara and Ashaya. I've known both of them. I've known Zara since 10th grade. I've known Ashaya since 6th grade because we went to middle school together. And I decided to put them in the piece because this new alien species I created is called the Fragmentasia. They're they're like if crystals were people. Their bodies are like these random translucent type. pastel clouds, and every single other one of their features is white, and they have like star freckles as you can see in the corners and shit like that. I don't even think you can see the star freckles that well, but they're there, I promise. And it was a really cute touch, and I'm actually sad that you can't even notice it that well, but it's okay. So there was a reason behind like pastels because the the theme for piece number 5 was contradictions. So we had to contradict our artwork. Like, what are the words I'm looking for? Metaphorically. We had to contradict our artwork either physically or metaphorically. That's the word I'm looking for. So I chose metaphorically. And my contradiction was that black women can't be feminine. It's a stereotype that's carried for a very long time. So I wanted to make the Fragmentasia this very feminine heavy species and put two talented black women at the forefront of it to get for the statement. Do you get it? Did I cook? I feel as though I did. So again, there's a reason behind the pastels. I wanted everything to seem soft because when you think soft colors, you think feminine energy. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna run with. And also, I needed to like contrast the colors. So if the aliens were gonna be light, obviously the space in the background is gonna have to be dark. So the constellations and not constellations, the stars and everything. I wanted to make this very deep purple because I didn't want to go with just straight black because I still wanted everything to tie in with that purple color. So I decided to go with deeper versions of the pastels. Now, as you can see on my color analysis, every color was picked for a reason. So purple was picked because of the meaning of like royalty and like wealth and riches, but instead of being like wealthy and money, we're wealthy in history. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Especially since I love the play The Color Purple, the movie and the musical. I have not read the book, but the movie, both of them, both movies and the musical, I love. So I mostly picked that because when I think purple, I think of black women. Yes. And honestly, I think this is a perfect piece to represent during this time because it is Women's History Month. Shout out to all my women. I love women. I chose pink because that is like the most stereotypical feminine color in existence. So I'm like, that has to go in there. It just makes sense. And then the soft blue is kind of just like to show exactly that softness and the purity that society kind of like tries to strip away from black women. But we have that too, guys. We're just girls. So then in the final piece, I finished all the what am I trying to say? All the rendering. I did the background and then I did the planet because had already practiced how I wanted to make the planet look on the color analysis. And then I added in the characters with reference photos I took myself actually. It was like one of those poses I did myself in a very dark art room so I can get those references in on time. But yeah, so I did all of that. Then there was still that like that space at the bottom where the words are, where it all felt very blank without it. So I was like, it needs something. And I was like, I guess I could just fill it in with text. And honestly, it made the piece look really good, guys. Like, it filled in the space that I needed to. It just needed something more. I hated how empty it was at the bottom, and I was like, you can do something more with this. So I decided to put the phrase protecting peace for centuries because when I think of Black history, the word that comes up for me is resilience. And resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. So I thought that it was the perfect phrase because Black women are mothers, nurturers, entrepreneurs, and all these things. And they have to protect themselves, but also other people that they love to make sure that they can all live peacefully. So we have been protecting peace for centuries. This is the sickest piece of my portfolio, in my opinion. I'm not gonna say this is the height of my artistic ability, but it comes pretty gosh darn close. Out of all the pieces in my portfolio, this is the one that is like the most simplistic. Like it means something. It really means something. Oh, and also before I like before I fumble and forget, I presented this piece at my Black History Month assembly. Like I stood up there, they projected my art on the freaking back of the stage, brother. And I gave a speech. I gave a speech, dog. I'm contemplating posting a video about my speech, like on Instagram or YouTube or something of that nature, and like re-reciting my speech like on this mic instead of like just using a recording of me during the assembly because like a lot of going on, like the crowd was cheering and everything like that, so there was like a lot of background noise. But I feel like re-reciting my speech and like making it its own standalone video would be kind of a good idea. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, now for the first time ever in this portfolio, we're shifting away from my friends. I know. For this sixth piece, I didn't draw any of my friends. I just drew me, and there's a reason. So, Vibrant Connections is supposed to be about my passage of time through high school. And we can't really start with the fact that I made friends until we start about how I reinvented myself in high school first. I hope that made sense. So, as I said, I don't know if I said this in the last episode, but the third piece that I made with all my friends in a circle on the grass with the rainbow lighting, that's the title. It's the title piece of my portfolio. That's going smack dab in the front. I had to put them in a lineup. Now, this sixth piece would go right beside it. It would be the second piece because it's about how I transitioned from freshman year to senior year, all the growth and the change in mindset. I'm trying to sound so smart right now. I'm trying really hard to sound so smart. So I think this was really fun because I got to dip back into all my freshman year photos when I used to take pictures on Snapchat avidly, and I would use the wildest, not wildest filters, but filters that changed like some of my facial features. And I'm like, yeah, this photo's gas. They weren't gas, guys. None of it was good. Well, some of them were good. Not all of them, though. I really hate the fact that I used filters that heavy. And I feel like that says something. I was insecure as heck in freshman year. Insecure as hell. And I wanted to show that through the artwork that I made. And the thing is, I am taking my friends and I'm turning them into superheroes. That's the thing. That's the thing. Each person gets a specific ability. So I had to give myself a superpower essentially, which wasn't hard to do because I make stories and superhero characters all of the time. And most of them always start with self inserts of myself if I was said superhero in said scenario. So I took the first superhero OC I ever made. Her name is Noah. The costume I designed for her, I put on my freshman self. And then my most recent superhero OC, her name is Vex. I put her costume on senior year me. Her costume is actually the one I've been drawing myself in since the beginning. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that because she's again my most recent. I don't know how well you can read my handwriting when you look at my character sheet. Give me 1 second to pull it up, guys. Yeah, I don't know how well you can read my handwriting or if you can even read it at all, but I gave a reason to why I picked said characters as the reason why I'm putting them in said costumes. For Noah's costume on the left, I wrote Noah was made when I was feeling low during the seventh grade. He was a character born from a hard time, which was true. I was going through it during the pandemic, like everyone was. So I created Noah as an outlet for said anxieties, said troubles, and making stories about her helped me cope with not just the pandemic, a lot of other personal shit that went on in my life when I was like 12. But besides the point, uh, since she was a means to cope. I was like, that's a perfect connection for freshman year me. We'll put her in her clothes. And then for Vex on the right side, the bullet point says Vex was made in 11th grade. Vision of how I see myself and made from a much happier place. Can I even read my own handwriting? I don't know, guys. Um, but yeah, Vex was made when I was when I was feeling myself in junior year, I was like, kind of the shit. So I took that and I made a character, and essentially her power is that she can like turn her like personal energy and aura into like physical things and like make things out of it. It's not She might be a witch. No, no, she's not a witch. She could just like actually manifest her aura into like physical objects, items, magic. Yeah. And I think the really cute part that's not going to mean anything to anyone else, but it means so much to me is that the way I signed my character sheet is I put my old artist signature and then I signed it like the way I normally do. Like this artist signature on the very, very bottom right corner is how I sign my work now, with the little M with two lines through it and a heart on the side. But when I was like in not kindergarten, I lied, not in kindergarten. I didn't know how to write in cursive in kindergarten. Since the 3rd grade when I taught myself how to write cursive, I always signed my work with my full name in pretty little cursive, and I dot my hearts with an I. I dot my hearts with an I. I dot my I's with hearts. So that's exactly what I did. I signed it both ways to pay homage to cutesy little younger me who didn't even know that she wanted to do art full time. And now I'm here doing art full time, and it's super fun. And I got to do a piece like this, which I did a diptych for the first time. For those of you who don't know what a diptych is, it's like a two-part art piece. Like, say one canvas is on the left side and another canvas is on the right side. They're right perfectly aligned with each other. And like one canvas is like one part of the piece, and then the second canvas is the second part of the piece. And they together they make one artwork. And that's what I did. But since I work in digital media, the way I had to format it for the critique is I had to put them on the same canvas. Whoa. Same canvas. So when what I'm showing you right now is how I had to print it for the critique, but when I actually do have to hang it up somewhere for my senior show, it will be two separate pieces, like inches away from each other. And I wanted to do green. I picked green specifically for this because it was because this piece is called growth. This piece is called growth because that's what it's about. It's about personal growth. So I researched flowers that have to do with like rebirth and like yeah, rebirth and like reinvention, and they said something about like white tulips symbolizes that really well. And I was like, "Oh my god, I love tulips." So I tried drawing them. So my color analysis isn't even like me planning on how to use the color. That's not what this is. Um, I just wanted to practice rendering flowers and leaves. So that's all that I did in that little corner. And I was like, I think I'm good enough. Let's go. And then I drew a bunch. I was having a freaking ball. And those water droplets on the leaves, it's so good. It's so spicy. It's so good. I'm so proud of myself on that part alone. I already know I can draw people. I'm not gonna say I can draw people well. I can draw people good enough. But those leaves and those flowers, water droplets. Now I can officially say that I'm talented, guys. Right here. That's where I can say it. So I think drawing the leaves was like easier than I thought it'd be. It was really fun just blending colors together. I had so much fun with this piece. And of course, it started with the hard part first. So the senior year side with a bunch of flowers and leaves and everything, that was the most hectic and daunting because a lot of stuff went into it. So I did that first. And then I did the freshman year one last because I knew very little was going to go in that. And there's a reason, there's a method to my madness always. There's always a reason, guys. I never go without one. Freshman year, I didn't do anything in high school. I didn't talk to anyone. I wasn't in any extracurricular activities. I went to class and then I went home. Nobody remembers me from freshman year, and I think that's a good thing. Sometimes I don't even want to remember it. You know what I'm saying? So that symbolizes through the empty space. The wilting vines. I don't think I did a good job to symbolize that they're wilting. They're just really dark and leaves are falling off. I think that can symbolize that it's dying. Maybe. The vines are dying, guys, in case you didn't know. The vines are very much dying. Yes, they're dead. Like an empty room, vacant of space, and then the wilting vines to show that nothing's really going on in that space. And as you can see, I'm crying because I did that a lot freshman year. And I think the coolest part about this piece is that the places that both figures are in, freshman me and senior me, they're both in the same room. So as mindsets change, the room changed. Right, right. I think now that I got my motivation back, I got like the root meaning of my artworks like locked in and loaded. Like now that I'm back and I'm feeling funky fresh, the artwork's gotten better, guys. These two pieces are fire, and I'm very excited for the seventh piece because it's also gonna be fire. And that's all I have for you guys today. I still have two more pieces left. I said that. One is almost done, and then the other I still need to work on. The very last piece of my portfolio is going to be insane. I'm going to do a triptych. It's like a diptych, but you like add one more canvas. It's three instead of two. And it's going to be a lot of work. Drop my mic. It's going to be a lot of work because I'm going to be drawing a lot of people, and I need to make sure I get the background right and the lighting right. I got to figure out what the heck I want to do with all the colors that I'm going to use. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy time, but I am going to do what I can to the best of my ability. And I hope I really, 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 really freaking hope that my triptych comes out the way I want it to. Because the vision in my head is really cool. I hope I'm going to be able to like execute that coolness well. And I feel like this is the most hype I've ever been for a Vibrant Connections episode. I'm so sorry that I've been absolutely dull off my ass for the first few episodes. This this one's the best one. We're getting better, we're growing, we're progressing. So yeah, that's it for today. There will be an episode next month. You don't have to wait 2 months for another one because there has to be another one in April because there's supposed to be one anyway. So yeah, also April is my birthday month, guys. By the time Vibrant Connections episode 5 comes out, I'm gonna be 18. She's gonna be a grown woman. I'm so excited to be 18. So excited to be 18. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you stay hydrated and eat your vegetables. Follow me on all my socials because I have those, and I will see you guys sometime in the future. Mwah. Love you, suckers.